Okay, so we're diving into something kind of wild this time. A concept album, sure. But this one's drenched in this 70s power pop sound. And get this, it's created by an AI gen artist, goes by the name TATANKA.
TATANKA, okay.
Yeah, and the album Bittersweet '70s, it's a whole journey, right, through all the ups and downs of love and loss. But it's all crafted with AI.
It's interesting, right? Because with TATANKA, it's clear there was a vision here. They didn't just throw stuff at AI and see what stuck. It's like this very deliberate sound, this theme they're going for, unrequited love, all that, but then, bam, 70s power pop on top of it.
And just so everyone's on the same page, by AI gen, we mean AI was used in the music creation, like the algorithms are actually composing. So Tatanka might have given the AI a prompt, something like, give me a cheap trick vibe, power pop, but the lyrics got to be about unrequited love. Oh, and make that bass line really drive.
Exactly. Those prompts are shaping the AI's output. It's less about replacing the artist and more like this back and forth, you know?
Yeah.
Human creativity meets AI, and that's changing how we even think about songwriting now.
And this album's over an hour long, so it's not just a bunch of random tracks. There's a whole narrative here. But before we even get to the lyrics, why that 70s sound? What about that era, that particular sound makes it work so well with these, like, bittersweet love themes?
Think about 70s power pop. It's got this nostalgic quality, but it's also raw, you know? Emotionally vulnerable, which fits perfectly with these love and loss stories. It's the driving bass, the guitars, those vocals. It's almost like it can be super upbeat, but still melancholic at the same time. That push and pull of, well, intense emotions.
It's like the music itself is carrying those feelings, that whole mix of excitement, heartache, that comes with love, right? And Tatanka uses this sound to paint these vivid pictures with the lyrics. Like there's this one song, Ghost of Your Touch, and the AI comes up with, every heartbeat echoes your name, found a ghost we can't tame. So good, but so sad at the same time.
And that's what's crazy. The AI doesn't shy away from those raw, vulnerable feelings. It goes right for that heartbreak, exploring every angle, the initial shock, the pain, even how you heal and move on.
And doing it all within this 70s sound. It's familiar, but futuristic at the same time. We're hearing this older era, but it's filtered through this new technology, so it makes you wonder about the line between humans and AI in art.
100%. And that's where things get interesting, right? We can't talk about Tatanka without addressing the big question. What is AI doing to art?
Right, and it's only going to get bigger as AI gets better. Are we taking away from human artists by using AI, or is this just a new tool, a new way to be creative? Tatanka is making us rethink what it even means to make art.
Exactly. It challenges us to ask, what does creator even mean anymore?
And that's a question we'll keep coming back to as we go through Bittersweet '70s. But let's look at how Tatanka uses this collaboration to get its specific themes, yeah? Because it's one thing to have this '70s sound, but the lyrics are really what pull you into Tatanka's world.
And it's wild because even though AI is helping make the music, the themes, they feel so human. We're talking about love, loss, longing, things people have felt forever. It's almost like the AI's tapped into some universal truth about the human heart. You know, giving a voice to those emotions we all connect with.
That's interesting because one thing that keeps popping up in Bittersweet '70s is how love can be good and bad at the same time.
Yeah.
Like broke my own heart. There's this feeling of diving into love even when you kind of know it might blow up.
And that's contrasted with this deep vulnerability. It's like those lyrics, I broke my own heart with a smile so bright, fell for the moon, lost in the night. Classic story, putting your heart out there even if it gets broken.
And that vulnerability pops up again in Mirage of Perfection. But here it's more about falling for someone who's not who you thought they were. When those lyrics hit, she's a hurricane disguised as a breeze. It's like, okay, someone's alluring, but maybe dangerous too.
Totally. It's like a warning about getting swept up in new love without seeing those red flags.
And then there's Do Not Fall For Me, which is almost like they're talking right to the listener, right? It's like Tatanka, or maybe even the AI, is saying, hey, love's great and all, but it can be dangerous too.
And even with that warning, you get this sense of like, you can't help yourself. They sing about this woman. She's like, fire, he can't handle it, but he's drawn to her anyway. That's attraction, man, you know, can't resist. Even if you get burned, it's like you're stuck between what you want and what's good for you. And that seems to come up a lot in this album.
Yeah, it's like Tatanka's showing us all the ways love can mess you up. Like with invisible threads. It's exciting, right? That forbidden love, a connection you shouldn't have. But you just know it can't last.
It's like, it's on borrowed time. That's strangers in love for sure. That feeling when you connect with someone, you barely know them, but it's like you're forever bound, even though you're strangers on common ground, you know?
So good. And it's like a lament for things that could have been. Especially with the line, "Your eyes were a mystery to me, like pages of a novel I'd never see." Super melancholic. And speaking of dream love,
Oh, for sure. It's like TATANKA, or I guess AI working with TATANKA, saying, hey, what if you're longing for something you can't have? That kind of love that only happens in dreams. Like, they're saying someone finds comfort in sleep, longing for this person they can only be with in their dreams.
which is kind of a perfect metaphor for unrequited love, isn't it? Wanting what you can't have, haunted by this connection that might not even be real.
Exactly. And that haunting, it gets really literal in Ghost of Your Touch. Lyrical shadows dancing like fire haunt me with the ghost of your desire. Pure yearning can't escape a lost love.
And Tatanka does not hold back on the heavy stuff either. Black Roses, man, that one's dark. Haunting melodies and the lyrics about grief and loss are right there in your face.
It's like the AI gets how heavy those emotions are. Black roses on the windowsill, cold heart stops the clock, stand still. It's so visual, so much sadness, right? And it's not just the loss, it's how it sticks around and changes everything.
Like the AI is trying to understand us
Hmm.
and ends up showing us how deeply we can feel sadness. Makes you think about that whole AI and creativity thing again.
Yeah.
If it can make something that makes us feel that much, what does that mean about art?
Mhm.
Is AI getting emotional or just reflecting what we put into it?
Whoa. Yeah, that's a big one. Philosophers, artists, they'll be figuring that out for years. But what TATANKA did here is huge. They're not just showing how AI can be a tool. They're making us ask, what is art? What's technology's role? What does it mean to be human now?
Exactly. And they're not shying away from the hard parts of being human either. Across the Divide, that one zooms out a bit, right? It's about the struggles we all face, like as a society, division, not understanding each other, needing to come together.
Different from those other personal stories for sure, but it shows how much depth this album has. And even though it's about these big issues, you still feel that longing, that need for connection, just like in all of Bittersweet 70s.
It's like no matter how messed up things are, we still want love and understanding, right?
Totally. And then Tatanka's like, but hey, that need for love, yeah, I can totally lead you down the wrong path. Falling for the enemy and the Stockholm syndrome, those go there. Toxic relationships, all that.
Falling for the enemy is intense, man. Rival hearts on a battlefield, and then passion blazed, no armor can shield. It's like Romeo and Juliet, but set to this 70s power pop sound.
And that's what's wild. You have this upbeat music with these kind of dark lyrics. It's like you're feeling all these things at once, can't control it, which is, well, kind of what a bad relationship is like.
Exactly. And the Stockholm Syndrome, that one goes deep, man. How we can get attached to people who aren't good for us. Tough subject, but Tatanka handles it carefully, showing how complicated those relationships can be.
It's that careful exploration of these really complicated feelings. That's what makes TATANKA someone to watch, I think. Because, yeah, they're using AI, this super advanced tech, but it's the feeling in the music that really hits you.
Totally. It's like they're vulnerable, but also pushing boundaries. That's what makes Tatanka so interesting. They're showing us what music can be, but also reminding us what makes us human. It's like you can really feel it in the music, that raw emotion. And Tatanka, they don't let up. Even at the end of the album, Loved by Gaslight. What a song.
Oh, man, it's chilling. The way the AI gets that emotional manipulation thing, that slow burn, you start doubting yourself. It's a lot, but also, like, crazy good.
Yeah, like you're right there as someone's falling apart. It makes you think about your own life, your own relationships. Lost in your game with no words left to say, loved by gaslight, stealing my sight away. It's haunting.
The music itself, too, the melodies are almost off, harmonies are unsettling. It's like the AI trying to get those dark emotions, it's kind of losing it a little.
Which, whoa, adds a whole other level to this AI creativity thing. If you can get that dark, feel those things, does it actually feel them? Or is it showing us the dark parts of ourselves since we're the ones who made it?
No easy answers there. And that's what's so cool about TATANKA. This isn't just music, it's making us think about tech, art, what it even means to be human now when things are getting so blurry between real and fake.
Totally. And they don't stop there. Out of love, it's like the opposite of falling for the enemy in a way. Instead of all that intense, destructive passion, it's like accepting that sometimes love just ends.
Yeah, and that's heartbreaking in its own way. Something you valued is gone. Our love's foundation, just a weak maze, lost in the echoes of yesterday's haze. It's that feeling of like, we were connected, but things change, even the strong connections.
And you really feel that loss and weight of goodbye. Even just the title, right? And the lyrics deliver.
Oh yeah, it's raw. You can tell it's over, but they're still messed up about it, Memories, regrets, all that. If you've ever loved and lost someone, you get it.
Exactly, everyone gets it. And that's what makes Bittersweet 70s work, even with AI in the mix. And then they wrap it all up with love in a time of oblivion. It's like reflecting on how strong love is, even when you're forgetting, when things are lost.
Such a good ending. The lyrics are like, this love goes beyond time, beyond what we even realize. So even if we forget, that feeling, that connection, it sticks around.
Like TATANKA and the AI are saying, hey, even though things are bittersweet, there's still hope. Even when everything changes, even when we forget, love is still a part of us.
And isn't that what makes us human? That ability to love and connect?
Totally. So where do we even go from here? We've got 70s power pop, AI that seems to understand us, and all these songs about love and loss.
I know, right? But maybe that's the point. Tatanka's not giving us all the answers, just making us think about tech, about how we make art now, about what it means to be human when things are getting weirder and weirder.
It's a conversation that's just getting started. And honestly, I'm here for it.